You've seen branded pens and water bottles and tote bags, but where do they all end up? My name is Lindsay Hampson. I'm the president of ThisRock. We help businesses figure out sustainability and certifications all over the world. But before getting into business sustainability consulting, I actually worked in marketing. I would head to Las Vegas or Toronto or Orlando for trade shows, and I'd bring or ship pens, socks, and giveaways to draw attention. Also, we would give giveaways to employees and so on. So, giveaways aren't going away, but they are definitely changing. So, to set the stakes of this video, there are billions in waste across the world, growing pressure from buyers, and that's definitely the big companies in the world that want to have branded stuff. And there's new sustainability expectations in the promo industry. So, stay with me for the next few minutes and let's learn about sustainability in the promo industry. You know that tote bag you got at that conference last year? Where is it now? That is the question that big brands and consumers are starting to ask themselves. Getting in person is key to make relationships grow and also to make sure employees feel part of the team. Like all of that stuff is great, but we need to talk more about biodegradable, recycled materials. Like, what kind of materials can we change the swag industry into? Maybe it's less or fewer things and more quality items. I mean, there's so many different things out there. Also, we don't want waste from these cheap disposable swag items. I mean, I remember that 20 years ago going to trade shows and there was something that you would grab and then maybe you would use it for 30 seconds and it would be in the trash. So, definitely there is an environmental challenge here in the promotional space. Roughly 80% of promotional products are kept for less than a year, and many end up in the landfill. So, this is the challenge. Let's talk about what the industry is doing to turn things around. Number one, you definitely guessed it, it's material waste. So, if somebody was, coming up with a pen, let's say, so obviously they need to virgin materials to make the pen. So somebody's their supplier and they're getting all the pieces of that pen and they're shipping it to a company that's putting your logo on it and then it goes out. Well, if people don't like the pens or they're not satisfactory, they're kind of gimmicky, people might throw them away. And also that's brand new materials often for that pen. The next is just high emissions. It's shipping all over the place in different boxes and plastic packaging and so on. So there's high emissions in this industry. The third is greenwashing. People could have a product and put it in something that says 100% biodegradable, but nobody's calling them out on that. So that's definitely something we see as well. That people would greenwash maybe at a conference to show that they have these sustainable products when really the products they're giving away for free are not sustainable. Packaging waste is a huge one. Packaging comes from all over the world to make sure these items don't get damaged in transport and that they're clean. But packaging is single-use plastics typically, and where do they end up? In the ocean, typically. This stat kind of blew my mind. You ready? Only 14% of promotional companies fully track their material sourcing beyond tier 1 suppliers. And that source is EcoVadis. They did a supplier survey in 2024. So there are actually real solutions that work. So I mentioned that, way back in the day, I was actually in marketing and I remember having a marketing budget for, getting the employees at the company some cool swag with our logo on it, maybe t-shirts or something, water bottles. And then I remember getting ready for trade shows. I had my own trade show budget and we would say, we want to have socks at this trade show and we would ship it and all of that. So now I believe people like me in my position now in marketing at companies are thinking sustainably too, because they don't want to show up with all this plastic packaging garbage, something that's like a single use, something that people throw away. Instead, I think what you give away as a company at a conference represent what your brand believes in. So that's for sure happening. So if you walk the floor of a conference hall nowadays, you're going to see things like bamboo, recycled plastics, organic cotton. You're going to see certifications like fair trade, for example, on some of these items, probably higher quality items and less like tchotchkes or giveaways, right? So if you're in marketing and you're the person or on the team that purchases promotional products, then this is what marketing can do. Number one is choose verified vendors. So I'm going to talk about this in the next area, but vendors are starting to be asked if they have an EcoVadis certification or active scorecard, for example, or if they are a B Corp, or if they have science-based targets, or if they track their emissions, or if they have a sustainability report, or if they have an FSC certification. See what I mean? So be smart if you're the buyer to ask those kind of good questions. The next is reduce single-use items. So when you're conjuring up what you want to see at the table that you're giving away or give to employees, for example, like get creative with it. What is something useful in people's lives rather than, like something that someone's going to throw away after the weekend? Measure your impact. Figure out, what did you used to spend dollar wise, and what was the impact of the stuff you used to give away, and then what could you give away now that's way less impactful? Definitely, I am seeing large customers of promotional product companies asking that their vendor make sure that they have some kind of sustainability certification. So we're seeing EcoVadis. If you're not sure what EcoVadis is, we have a video about it. You can also just Google ecovadis.com. EcoVadis is a third-party rater, and they take a look at companies to see if they are environmentally sound, labor and human rights. They take a look at ethics and often procurement, sustainable procurement, and they look at policies, data, reporting, initiatives, and so on. So you may need to do EcoVadis or do a questionnaire, get scored, and then give that to your big customer to prove that you're caring about sustainability at your business before maybe the next time you're able to ship them the next load of swag products. So we're seeing that for sure. We're also seeing pressure from the conference center floor, where people on the floor don't want something that's just going to be thrown away. And so those items aren't attracting people that they used to attract. So if you work in the promo space, you're probably familiar with a couple of these associations. There's one called ASI, it's Advertising Specialty Institute. It's a for-profit organization that connects distributors and suppliers, and they basically have a portal media. They do some education. They try to connect the dots. They publish research and rankings and sustainability insights. They recently did an article on EcoVadis adoption in the promo industry. They definitely have good insights. So if you haven't been there before or not a member, you should go over there. It's asicentral.com. And they track how big brands are pushing for greener swag, including demanding tools like EcoVadis to reshape expectations for their suppliers. There's another one too called PPAI, that's the Promotional Products Association International. I've gotten myself familiar with these folks as well. They're North America's largest nonprofit trade organization for the promo product industry, and they represent thousands of suppliers and distributors. They offer a sustainability hub that you can go on. There's guides, tools, education. It's pretty fantastic. So you can check that out at ppai.org/sustainability. And again, PPI is like one of the leading charge on industry-wide sustainability standards. They offer tools and education. Okay, so sustainability in the promo industry isn't a nice to have anymore. I hope that came over clearly. It's a must. So whether you're the chooser of swag for your trade show that's coming up or employee hangout, or if you're designing the next great giveaway, it's definitely time to think beyond just your nice logo. And if you're in the promotional space and you're the vendor, then you already are probably feeling those pressures, and you're probably starting, if you haven't already started, to figure out how to make promotional products more meaningful and less wasteful. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful to you. If you ever have any questions, always happy to help. Again, I'm Lindsay from ThisRock, and you can always reach out to us on our website or drop us a comment here. I hope it was helpful. Have a great week. See you later.